New reports are indicating that Sony and Marvel are looking to put Kraven the Hunter in the next Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. We gotta break it down. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Smash that like button and let's get right into this report. Now, this is coming from murphysmultiverse.com, but this is kind of a weird article in the sense that this is not a scoop. At least that is what Charles Murphy is saying. Now, this is weird because Charles Murphy is one of the best scoopers out there. He has great sources, but I'm going to read this little part here that's meant to suggest to you that this is not a scoop. It says here in the article, before you go on, understand that despite everything I have said above, this story should not be considered a scoop or an exclusive or anything more than just a rumor at this point, because I cannot at the moment find a second source to confirm what I'm sharing. That said, this checks a lot of the boxes and is exactly the kind of thing I would want someone to share with me should they have heard something like it. So here we go. Okay, I just gotta be honest, that is some weak sauce, man. I love Charles Murphy. I think he's great, but how are you gonna put this out? Everybody is clearly going to treat this as though it is a story report or, whatever. You want to call it just a rumor. Bro, you are a scooper. You can't put out a scoop unverified that you can't get a second source on and just say, oh, but everybody would want to know this, but it's not a scoop, though. It's like, I want the attention and the clout of a scoop, but I don't want to be told I was wrong if this doesn't end up happening. What? Now, Charles goes on in the article to explain that Marvel Studios is looking for a Joel Kinnaman type for an unspecified role in the upcoming untitled Spider-Man sequel. He says here, given all the rumors and speculation around what Spidey 3 will likely be about and what villains we are likely to see in it, it's incredibly easy to make yourself believe that the studio wants this Kinnaman type for a major role in one that fans are dying to see introduced in the film, Kraven, and I'll be damned if Kinnaman isn't perfect for it. Now, the logic here put forward by Charles is pretty sound. There have been a lot of rumors about how badly Kevin Feige wants to put Kraven the Hunter into different films. It was apparently what he wanted to do with the second Spider-Man movie and even Spider-Man Homecoming. All the way back in Homecoming, apparently Feige wanted Kraven the Hunter. Charles is also talking about how Kinnaman, being a 6'2" Caucasian actor that has a pretty good build, is considered muscular, macho in a lot of different ways, does line up perfectly with what you would want for a Kraven the Hunter in live action. But let's be clear, this is not a scoop, it's just a rumor. Now, a couple of people have been pointing out some really interesting things about this report. Apparently, Tom Holland and Kinnaman are actually pretty legitimate friends. They've visited each other on sets before. They seem to have some kind of a relationship, so that would be really cool to see it if he actually got the role. However, it's important to note, and Charles, again, does a great job of explaining this in his article, this whole thing of a Kinnaman type does not mean that that is who they are going for. They are trying to pick someone that is iconic and represents the different things they're looking for so that different agents will know who among the people they represent should they ask if they're available or should they push to try to get this role. It's the same thing with the Alison Brie type casting, right? Marvel put out a casting call looking for an Alison Brie type for She-Hulk. Alison Brie did come out and actually show some interest for that, but it's yet to be determined if Marvel is interested in her. Now, another side of this that's really interesting is the fact that if this is Kraven the Hunter in the MCU, it is very likely that this might be the only time we see this character actually in the MCU. However, Sony is very likely going to take this character and put that character into the Sony Marvel universe of characters and put him with the Venom movie, put him with the Morbius movie, put him over there with those different characters. So just like Michael Keaton's Vulture, this may be something that Sony and Marvel have a lot of input on casting, and then this will show up in the MCU and be sort of carried over back into whatever Sony does. So this Kraven is a pretty big deal, not just for the MCU, but for what's going on with Sony. And if we could get into just a little bit of speculation here, this also could possibly be a negotiation or bargaining chip being passed between Sony and Marvel. Kevin Feige very badly wanted to do Kraven in a Spider-Man movie that he is producing. It looks as though Sony is allowing that to happen, even though Sony had a plan to do a solo Kraven movie completely on their own, separate from the MCU. This is another sign that Sony and Marvel are likely working together and have come to some kind of an arrangement behind the scenes. The speculation is Sony is getting to use Tom Holland over in their movies. They're getting this Feige produced Spider-Man 3, and they are getting the luxury of the loose canon that will be created between the MCU and the Sony, whatever the hell they're doing. And on the flip side of that, obviously, Feige wants Tom Holland in more Spider-Man movies, but Kraven was also something he wanted. Did he get Kraven? Is that a part of the new arrangement? What about Norman Osborn? Does this indicate that some kind of an arrangement has been reached between Sony and Marvel for the Norman Osborn character? I don't know, but this is certainly a very interesting thing to watch take place. We've been following this story ever since the Sony-Marvel split and then coming back together. It's been really crazy, but that's my personal speculation where my brain goes. I want to know what you think. What do you think about this rumor? It's not a scoop. And what do you think about this Kraven the Hunter going over at Sony and what this could possibly mean for the future of the relationship between Sony and Marvel with Spider-Man and with other characters technically owned by Sony? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And now let's shout out Michelle Vinning. Yes, indeed, the Western movie that Nia DaCosta directed was called Little Woods. And now let's ask another nerd card question before we get out of here. I want to know, what is the real name of Kraven the Hunter? Answer that question in the comment section below. And if you're enjoying the content over here, you might enjoy the live streams we do straight from the Nerdvenger Tower every day, Monday through Friday, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can also join the Nerdvengers by joining the memberships over on the live streaming channel to get discounts on our merchandise and a lot of exclusive content. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.